Hello, boys and girls. Hello, hello. Need to move this over here. It's going up here. Boom. Here this. Okay, boys and girls, in this little livey. Hey, Van, how you doing, mate? You alright? Going to be answering some Basque questions. I've already got a list of some from the Discord group, etc., etc. So, yeah, going to get down to that in a second. But first, slurp of coffee, of course. 7 o'clock in the morning here in the beautiful Philippines. Get some coffee down my neck. Doing good. I like that, Van. Where are you from, mate? I'm always good, especially with a coffee down me. Okay, let's have a look at some of these questions while I have a coffee. So we've got, can I use more than one tab when working with Bass? Yes. Okay, Bass takes up a lot of RAM. Can I make it easy? I'm guessing that means takes up less RAM. How can I make a bot? How can I make my bots human? Okay. What is a regular expression? Van, I'm probably from my accent, you can tell I'm from the UK, but yeah, I'm living in Asia, in the Philippines. It's a bit warmer here. A lot warmer here. Less rain, less fog. Can you send out emails with Bass? Yes, you can. Right, take care of that. How can I download images? They keep downloading. Yeah, I get this all the time. That's no problem. Okay. Bit more coffee and I'll crack on and answer these questions. Yeah, I like it here, mate. It's like I said, it's warmer here. I like they've got a lot of beaches. Obviously, it's a bit different at the moment with the older virus going about. Yeah, you have to wear a face mask and face shield, so the girls don't look so beautiful with that on. But you know, it is what it is. But yeah, the weather's good here. There's less red tape for business. It's very easy to set stuff up, no questions. So yeah, it's quite good. It suits me. It's not for everyone at all. There is the downsides, of course, but overall, for me at least, yeah, it suits me. The weather definitely suits me. So what is it? 7 o'clock now. I don't know. It's probably about 26, 27. Yeah, so it's not bad. Not bad. Righty ho then. I think one more slurp of coffee. I'm down for this. Right, I'm going to open a new project because I know this one's got a bit of the older TikTok project in. So let me just Empire Gang project 3. It's not found. No, come on. Maybe I haven't had enough coffee. What am I doing? What? Why am I new? Come on. Project 3. Whack that in. Okay, we have a blank project. So let's hit record. So get this expanded. For some reason, it won't let me edit it directly how I want the screen. So I've resorted to just making it full screen. Right, let's have a look. Can I use more than one tab with working with Bass? Yes, you can. Who was that from? Did I get a name for that one? Morocco? I think that's from the Discord, that one. Okay, so tabs. You can indeed work with other tabs. So I'm not sure, some people didn't realize up here you can search for options here, like you can put in tab if you've got an inquiry. So we can select tabs. Now tabs have a index number. So if you work with more than one tab, then that will be tab 0. If you open another tab, that would be indexed as tab 1. So when you select tabs and it asks you which one you want to work with, just bear that in mind. And like programming, it starts at 0. So let's go to let's get out of here. Let's go load and let's go bing.com. Okay. And then what we could do is, if I remember correctly, is if we go to tabs, we can add a tab. Okay. And then you can decide which URL that's going to, and then you can decide if it's loads silently. If it's silent, if you put this to true, that means that you can't see the browser. So this could be good, especially if your bot is for sale and you have clients, and in the background you want it to say, let's just say that you're getting a disposable email or something like that. Okay, maybe you don't want the window to open. Okay, so what you could do is set this to true, and this will do all the instructions that you give it, but it will do it without you or the client or whoever seeing the browser. Okay. Instabot, hello. Can you explain more about custom GUI for scripts? I want to make something that's easy to use with 100 threads or browsers at the same time and controlling the resources from inside the GUI. So you're talking about custom GUIs with BAS. May I ask if you have the paid version of BAS, because you will need that to be able to make your own GUIs. Just so you know, it's one of the few things that BAS not hides, but doesn't give you access to in the free version. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. Just let me know on that. I'll just carry on while you let me know. So we could, for this tab, we could go to reddit.com. Always going to Reddit. No, I don't want it to be. So then this is going to open another tab. Okay. So this is now tab 1. Okay, it's the bot. Yep, definitely. I'm just going to plow through these questions quickly. I've just got these are. Oops. I've got about 4 or 5 questions from the Discord and from emails. So I'm just going to answer them, and then I'll definitely get onto your questions. So if you want to hang around for the next like 20 minutes or so, or if not, come back in about 20 minutes, and I'll definitely crack on. And yeah, we'll get into GUIs a little bit. Okay, right. So yeah, sorry. This is now tab 1. So then what you can do if you want to go in between tabs is you simply go tab and then select tab, and then, so remember what I said. So your main index, which has got bing.com on, is now indexed as 0. Okay, and the reddit.com one would be 1. So you can switch in between tabs by at any point just going like, oh, okay, I want to go back to 0 now. Okay, so then you'd be selecting tab 1, then you can carry on and you'd be working with tab 1. And then if you selected select 1, then you'd be working with the reddit.com tab. So this is, you can do as many tabs as you want. Okay, yeah, so that's the basics of tabs. To get all the options for tabs, just click type tab in here. So you can close tabs that you're not using, you can select a tab, add a tab, you can get information about the tab, like which site it's on, etc, etc. So to answer, yes, you can use tabs, and that's how you do it. Okay, let's get rid of this. Next, let's have a look. Close this out a sec while I look. Okay, BAS takes up a lot of RAM. Can I make it easy? I guess you mean, can it use less RAM? Well, here's the ting-a-ling. Yes, you can do things to make the less impact on RAM and CPU, which I'll show in a second. But we have to remember that Browser Automation Studio is a framework. Okay, all frameworks are heavy, okay? Heavy meaning that they're going to be slower than using the scripting language. They've got a lot of weight on them. It's like having stabilizers on a bike. It's kind of like you have to have a happy medium. Bass is rich in features and gives you a lot of options and makes you you're able to create projects really quickly. Okay. On the downside of that, obviously it's a framework and has a lot of dependencies. Okay. So it's never going to be, it's always going to be a bit more intensive on, well, when I say a bit, quite a lot more intensive on RAM and CPU because of all the overheads. Coupled with the fact at the moment Chrome has an issue, a known issue, I don't think they've fixed it yet, with using a lot of RAM. It's a RAM hog, okay? So couple them two things together, okay, it makes life a little bit difficult. So I do understand what you're saying, about the RAM CPU issue. You're just going to have to get a better computer. No, not really. Well, it depends on your project. If you're running 100 threads, 50 threads, whatever, then you're best to use your project on a server anyway, and then you're just going to have to make allowances for RAM and CPU. It's just the way it is. Them two things combined, the fact that Chrome right now is heavy on RAM, guzzles it, and then any framework, not just, I'm not picking on Browser Automation Studio, any of these frameworks are going to be intensive on RAM and CPU, and that's just the nature of the game. You know, when you're using scripting languages or coding, obviously they're going to be a lot faster, but you don't get that dependency, you don't get that support and kind of ease of use that you get with frameworks. Now, with that being said, let us get over here and let's just say I'm going to use again. I'm going to use Reddit as an example. Where am I? I want something that's quite picture intensive. I don't know. Let me just see. Let me just go to yahoo.com. Okay. So as you can see, we've loaded yahoo.com. Now, what we could do before this, okay, if you go to network, so the network tab, and you go to request mask deny, okay. Now you can deny loading anything that you want, and you can use a match all. So what I mean by that, we could go star.png, and what will happen now when the page goes to load, it will deny loading any PNG images, okay. And then request mask deny again. We could go on, we could say JPEG, okay. So when we run it now, if there is any JPEGs and PNG pictures, then they won't load. Okay, I don't think in this is a really bad example using yahoo.com. I think it doesn't use anything, but you can do this with anything, with ads. You can do this with anything that you see on the screen. If you get the name of it, then you can deny it. Which, for example, if you still need a browser, an official browser, but you don't need all like images and stuff like that, if you're doing scraping, then see what you can get away with. Delete images. Yep, great. Hey, hello, mate. Thanks for joining us. Just getting into some Browser Automation Studio questions, getting some answers out there, and drinking some coffee. Yeah, so you can mask deny anything. You can even go like CSS and delete the whole CSS. I'm not sure how this is going to work with, it's not a standard HTML. Yeah, there you go. Look, now look at it. Now we've got rid of all the CSS. Okay. So it just depends on what you're doing. Like I say, if you're just scraping and you can still see the stuff on the page, or you just need the HTML, then this will work fine. Okay. Yes, it's 7:16 in the morning yet, Crate. So yeah, couple of coffees. Start off. I was up quite late, so you know, inject the coffee into the eyeball, get it to the brain quicker. You know how it is. Yeah. So like I say, it depends on what you're trying to do, but try and cut out, try and like cut out as much as what you don't need, and that will help speed things up. Okay. So that's network, request mask deny, bada boo, bada bing. So that's that. So let's get rid of all this. Okay, and actually, okay. Speaking of which, it's time for a little slurp of coffee before we get on to the next question, which is how can I make my bots look human? Righty ho, let's have a bit of coffee, get the brain working. Oh, lip crack, don't get me on capsules as well. I'm drinking enough coffee as it is. I'll be running down the street in my underwear. How can I make my bots look human? Right. Okay. So by looking human, I think I don't know if I've got a name of someone who. I think I got that via email. I think that's why I haven't got a name for whoever sent that in. Um, is it possible to open BAS in Mac? Okay, so BAS is a Windows software. Okay, now with that being said, I haven't tested this out, but there is programs that can run Windows software with Mac. I think one's called Wine. Is it Wine or something like that? It's Wine glass, yeah. Windows to Mac. Wine. Yeah. I saw it. How to install Windows. Okay. Yeah, so there's a program called Wine. So check that out. You I'm not sure if it works with BAS. I've never tried it. I've never tried to run BAS under anything but Windows. But just to sum up, it is an actual Windows software to make Windows programs. Okay. But with that being said, give it a go. I mean, report back, let us know if there is a way to run it on Mac. That'd be really good for people to know because yeah, a lot of people have Macs. You can use VMware. Yeah, Lipcrate. That's another good idea. Maybe give it a go. I mean, that's the best way. I have never tried, so I can't really give advice on it. I know there is programs to run Windows software with Mac. Will it work with BAS? Who knows? Or even if you can't run BAS as in the design software, can you run a compiled bot and use Wine? This is what we need to find out. This is some stuff that we should look into for sure because so many people obviously use Mac. So, is there a way to set a thread to like? That's a great question. That is a really good question. So GUI and then thread delay. Thread delay. Yeah. Basically, there is a way that you can delay threads, or there's a couple ways that you can delay threads. So yeah, I'll show you that after. I'll do things in order. That way, everyone gets their questions answered. Yeah. Okay. So what? Oh yeah, human emulation. Now, the person who sent this question, I presume what you're trying to ask or say is how do you avoid sites detecting you as a bot? Now, the first thing that you can use is use the fingerprint switcher. Uh, so let's start again. So BAS uses an embedded version of Chrome, Chromium. If you leave it without a fingerprint, then it is what it is. Sites can see what you're doing. Now, does that matter? Depends on what you're doing. It depends on if you're using it with, say, Reddit or Instagram and this kind of thing, you're going to have to use some kind of disguise. Now, the fingerprint switcher with BAS changes things at a JavaScript level. So it doesn't change it at the code base level. This is the big thing that people don't understand. So does the fingerprint switcher work? Yes, 90% of the time. Can sites still detect it and detect it using BAS? Some of the bigger sites are. Okay, so again, it depends what you're doing, but it doesn't hurt to use the fingerprint switcher, and like I said, it works in most cases. So it's a paid service unless, let me get into it. So you can use the fingerprint switcher for free, but you can only get one fingerprint per 3 minutes, and you can only use a fingerprint that's for Microsoft Windows and for the Chrome browser. Okay, now you can, and I don't own Browser Automation Studio, and I'm not getting anything out of this, so this ain't but they have the fingerprint switcher. You can get a key from them, which enables you to you can read it on there anyway. Let me just whack that into the chat as well. I think everyone that's on the chat knows about this, but put it in there anyway. And for the people not on the chat that's watching the replay, I'll put it in the description. Okay. And I think they've got like 50,000 different fingerprints, and they're adding new ones all the time, and it changes. Basically, you can see what it changes on here. It basically changes your browser so you so you can get away with murder. No, so that if you're running multiple accounts, then each account looks different. Okay, so approximately this is how many accounts they've got, and when you get a key from them, you can change your fingerprint to match Apple, Mac, Android, IE, etc., etc. So does it work with every site? Like I said, it changes things at the JavaScript level, not at the code level. So most of the time, it's absolutely fine. Yeah. So that's the first thing to do. So get yourself a key if you're getting serious with this. If you just want to test it out, then you can change it every 3 minutes, and you don't need a key, but you only get Microsoft Windows and Chrome fingerprints back. So that's the first thing to do. So how do you use the fingerprint switcher? Well, first you get a fingerprint, just put get fingerprint, and if you don't have an account, the fingerprint switcher, just hit OK. It's going to go and get you a fingerprint. Then simply it puts the fingerprint into a variable called fingerprint, unless you change it, and then you simply press apply fingerprint. You can change these options if you want, but if you're just getting started, it's fine. And then which fingerprint? Well, it's the one that's in the variable fingerprint. Hit OK, and Bob's your uncle, you're good to go. Then if you go to any website, Bing.com, why are you picking on Bing or Reddit? Okay, so then you have that fingerprint. That's the first way. The second way that what we do is obviously, and I know everyone knows this, but you can do waiters. Most people know this. You can sleep around. You can sleep around. You can sleep, but what you can do is you can use random sleep time. So instead of having 2 seconds every time, just randomize it up a little bit. Okay. I'm going to leave it there. I think most people know that. But if not, go to waiters and then go to sleep. Go to sleep, everyone. Go to sleep. And then click random time and put the minimum amount of wait time and maximum. This is in milliseconds. So 1000 equals 1 second. Let me just catch up here. Have you a solution to automate Snapchat? I think it's impossible. Okay, let me just look. Does Snapchat have Snapchat? So it's what do you call it? It's an application only. It's not online. So with Browser Automation Studio, I'm gonna say no. The reason being, it's an app. It's an app only. They don't have an online version, as far as I know. Okay. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, is there anything here? I don't know much about Snapchat, to be fair, but as far as I'm aware, it's an app only. So I don't think Bass is going to be too much good with it. I don't know if they have an API. Oh, I could just find out, couldn't I? Do I have anything? Snapchat reference. I don't think they've even got. Yeah, I could see. Snapchat is launching 4 new APIs, including the Snap Login API, create counts on the app. For now, I'm going to say no, leave it alone with Browser Automation Studio, just because I don't think that's the best option, to be honest, to use Browser Automation Studio for that. And I don't think it's very possible at the moment. And even if it is, I don't think it's going to be much fun. I don't think you're going to be able to do a lot with it. Razorback, hi. Who the fuck is this guy? You do fucking nothing. Sweet, thanks for joining us. Okay, sip of coffee. I swear it'd be easier if you could just inject it into your eyeball. Get there quicker. Right. So where was I? Yeah, so that's quite an obvious one. Random time. I think most people know about that. So yeah. One that most people know, but maybe don't use to the best of their ability, is idle emulation. So in the toolbox, go to idle emulation and then click idle emulation, and then time spent on page in seconds. So this will spend 10 seconds on the page, and it's going to do 1 1 2 3 3 3 4 4. So that means if you click down here, you'll see what 1 does. Okay, 2, 3, and 4. And like sleep, see, this is going to do 10 seconds every time. So what you could do is make this random, and we could just go, or you could give the user the option to do this. And what I mean by that is, so let's cancel this. Let's cancel. Let's get rid of some of this. Right, get rid of this. So you could put how long to look human. So I'm making a resource here, and then we could have a random integer. Okay, so the it's in seconds this time. So you could have I don't know, between 2 and 20. Okay, and there you go. So then you're giving the user the option, or yourself, depending on if you're giving it to someone else, the script. Okay, so I'm going to put between 2 and 10. And then what we could do for idle emulation is just come in here. Instead of having 10, we could have, what am I doing? Why did I do that? Here, how long to look human. Okay. Hit OK, and there you go. So it's going to act. It's going to do. Let me just stop this. It's gonna do these steps, but instead of taking 10 seconds every time, it's gonna do it between. It's gonna take between 2 and 10 seconds, a random amount each time. So that's another way to mix things up a little bit. Okay, next thing, when and I'm not saying you need all these every time. It just depends on the project you're doing and how deep you need to go. Another thing is what people do is if we, oh, it's a good thing going to Bing. We can get rid of this. Okay. So let's get over to bing.com. Go here. Now. For typing, okay, you can mix things up with this as well with the same kind of idea. So what we could do is say we're going to type how to grow hair, which I love to know the answer to. Now here you can decide how quickly it types in milliseconds, okay? So as standard it's 100 and everyone normally sticks to that. But what you could do is randomize this as well. So you could give the user the option to decide what this is, or via a resource like we've done, or what you could do is what you can do. Okay, just interrupt. Is come here and then under tools you can random number and then between say 5 and 100 and call it random type speed. Okay, and then all you do is come back here and where it says how quickly, oh no, it's in milliseconds. No, interval in milliseconds. Yeah, so here you could change this to your random type speed. So then every time it types into this box, it's going to be at a random speed, and not everyone's going to be typing at the same speed on every thread, on every fill out of the search bar will be at a different speed instead of all being at the exact same speed with every single thread, you know. So that's another way to mix things up. How make for download pictures from file? Ah, nice one. It's that question's actually in the list already, so I'm going to be answering that shortly. Everyone asks that because it is a bit of a pain to do with Browser Automation Studio, but I am going to get to that and show you what there's quite a few ways. Some of them are quite long-winded and some are a bit more easy, so we'll get to that shortly. So yeah, that's type speed, and just one more thing, but I can't remember how to show you it. Let's have a look. This is one that people don't use really. I think it's under mouse. Move on element. Okay, let me try and find it. Okay, this calls for a little bit more coffee. Hey, Villa Dalet. Have you a solution to scrape data from YouTube subscriber? Hello from France. When you say scrape data from the YouTube subscriber, do you mean say go onto their profile? Like I'm actually running on YouTube. So do you mean go onto their profile and scrape? What is it you're trying to get? Tell me a bit more. Tell me more. Okay, so let me try and find this in the meantime. Okay, where is it? It's under. It's under. Who knows? Who actually knows? I can't actually remember. It's been such a while. Is it? Oh yeah, under browser and then mouse settings. Now this seems really trivial and you probably don't need to do this, but this, like I said, I want to show you how to go really in depth. Some sites do pick up on this kind of thing. Instagram is one for sure. Now these are the settings that every single one of us that is using Browser Automation Studio is using, and we're using it all on the same threads, okay, all our bots. So would that look suspicious to you? If you've got a website like one of the big boys like Instagram, Reddit, all this kind of thing, and you've got stuff in place to detect bots, if you can detect the mouse movements, like you have heat maps and stuff, so lots of the sites can. I'm talking about the big sites now. I'm talking about, you know, big players. I'm not, if you're just scraping data or you're just trying to kind of mimic on less known sites, then this kind of thing, you know, you don't have to go so deep. But if you're messing around with the big boys who have bot detection and stuff, then you need to start thinking about this. So with most people didn't even know this option's here. But anyway, so you can actually change the speed of the mouse, okay, how quickly it moves across the screen, the gravity, so how quickly, like, and then its deviation. Okay, so you can move your mouse on Discord link. Discord link. 1 second, I'll get that for you, mate. So you can find out what these mean here. Okay, but basically it's the speed, how the direction of the mouse and how it gets from A to B. Okay, so you can change these, or what you could do is randomize them with the exact same method that we used before. So mouse speed, we could go, let's just put this in here first. What we could do is tools, random number between 5 and 100. We could call this mouse speed. Yeah, boom. And then we replace the 100 with mouse speed. Now every time this runs, you're going to have a different mouse speed. Okay, and you could do that with all of the settings that are on there. So now we've got random type speeds, we've got random mouse movement, we've got fingerprint switching with randomly scrolling up and down the page. So all these things together is going to make you look more like a human user. Do you need all these all the time? Probably not. Do all sites know what the mouse movements are and using heat maps and seeing like different movements? Probably not. But I'll tell you something for certain. Everyone that's using BAS out of the box is using the same speed, the same gravity, the same typing speed, the same movement across the site and everything. Okay, so changing these up are going to make you look different to the big players in online, like Instagram, Reddit, all these kind of sites. Okay, good stuff. Now let's go to this. Boom. Quick commercial break. No, not commercial break. Let's go here. What's your name on here? Sure you spoke to me in the last. Okay. Okay. Okay, I've sent you an invite on the old Discord. You'll be in the waiting room after this live feed. I'll upgrade you so you're on all the channels. Okay, so next question. What are regular expressions? Oh, that's a big subject. Who sent that in? Who am I going to have to go and get the baseball bat for? Team Cash Taker. Oh, I think he's on Discord. Right. So let's get to it. Try and get a good example. Let me think of a. Okay, we can. I'm going to go to Reddit for this, as always. A regex is a way to extract information from a page. Regex is a huge subject. You basically build a regex to be able to scrape information. It's one way to scrape information. Let me think of a good way to show you this. A good example. I'm just coming off a BAS a minute to look. Something that's got, I know. Just crack on with this. Oh, so hot in here. Guys, I'm gonna go and turn on the aircon, yeah? And I need you to do me a favor. I always wondered this. Let me know if it's really loud, if it's really interfering. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm back. Is it anyone listening to me? Anyone in the chat? Could you tell me if that's loud? Can you hear that in the background? Is it overgoing on my voice? Banned? Uh, I'll check out after the feed. Send me a message on Discord now, so that when I finish the live chat, that I can I'll be reminded and I'll check that out. And also, while you're here, can you hear me? Okay? Is the I've turned on the aircon in here. Like I turn it off for the feeds, and it's kind of like I was wondering if anyone can tell me if you can hear the aircon. Is it too loud? Let me know, guys. Right. So let's just sort this out. Okay, so this could be a good one. Yeah. So I'm gonna show you with yeah, can you hear me okay, everyone? No difference. Nice one, mate. I just wanted to know because I was gasping for air. I turned the aircon off thinking, oh, it's got to be quiet. They're gonna hear everything. But yep, nice one. Thanks for that. So a regex is a way to extract information from a web page. It's basically a way to scrape. Okay, scrape data. Is it the best way? You can use XPaths and you can use loops and stuff. Yep, great. Oh, nice one. Thanks a lot. That's cool. Let's put my mind at rest. So let's view the source code for here. So, for instance, if we wanted all links on this page, okay, we could build a regex using that. We can use XPath, but I just want to show you a really really easy or quicker example. But this could be used to extract anything from the page. So luckily for us, BAS has an inbuilt regex builder. So I'm going to show you that in a second. But first, I'm going to grab the site and show you how we even go about this. So let's get rid of all this. Okay. And then I'm going to load Craigslist in Manila. It's more fun in the Philippines. Right. Now, what we want to do is get the page HTML. So that's in browser, get the page HTML, so we can work with that and build our regex. Now, I'm going to come over to BAS, and if you go to Tools, Regular Expression Constructor, I want to build a regular expression. Yes, I do. Okay, so let's go to the source code, and let me just let's have a look through this quickly. Yeah, so I'm just going to show really an easy example because it'll make learning easy. So when you're building a regex, what you need is something before the data that you're trying to scrape, okay, and something after, okay. So this one wasn't a good example actually. Hold on. 1 second. That's better. That's going to be easy to follow. Just trying to see one that's going to be. yeah, so we could do something like that. Trying to find the most easiest one to make it right. That was it. Yep. Okay. So we can have that before, that after. Loving it. So when you're building a regular expression, what you need is something before the actual data that you want to actually scrape. So this would be before, and this would be after. So then it would scrape, you can make it scrape anything in between. Now, regex is a complicated subject. You can do a lot more with it than that, but this is the basics and how it's used, to scrape. So once you have that information, then you'd click next. Now it's saying, where's the actual data that you want to scrape? So I want, for this example, I just want this to here and click next. Now it's going to ask, what do you want before? So where's the data before, so I know what to scrape? So it's this. Now it's going to ask you, so is it going to be this exact text every time? Is it going to be different? For this example, it's going to always be this, and it's always going to be one time. So I'm looking for anything that has this at the start, and it's just on there one time. Now, what's after? So just this, just the, why have I forgot what it's called? This. And it's always going to be that on one time, okay? Then it's going to say, okay, highlight what you need again. So I'll do that. And it's going to say, so what's going to be in between? So if you're on, there's many options and many ways to do this, but if you put any symbol, that means, well, anything that's in between them two things, anything. How many times, meaning how many characters? Well, we don't know how many characters are going to be in there. So we're going to put one or more time and match as few as possible. Okay, so press next, and that's our regex here. Now we can put a test to make sure it works as we want by doing that. So if I put all that in, what we'd get back is the link here. Okay, it hasn't got the HTTPS, but we could make add that at the start, it's no problem. So what we do is copy the regex. Okay, so we can come here, and what we can do is it has a whole section for regex. We could just find the first match for a regex or extract all. I haven't got time in this feed to go over everything, but in this case, we're going to extract all of them. So where do we want to test or use the regex? Well, we want to use it on the source code. So we've got the source code for the page here, and it's in a variable called saved page HTML. And what regular expression do we want to use? Well, the one that we just built. Bam. Okay. And what the results, where do we want to save it? Well, I'm going to save it into a list called scan result list. You can change this to whatever you like. Okay. Hit OK. So let's run it from the start and see if we get anything. Extract. Now let's look here. What we got? There you go. There's all the results that match that. Now that's not look. You've got lots of URLs here. You want to clean this up, and lots like this don't have the HTTP at the front, but it's easy to add that. Okay, so that's the real basics of regex. I haven't got time to do a full tutorial on regex in the live feed. Yeah, but that's the basics. Okay, how can you send out emails with BAS? I'm not sure if you're talking about sending mass emails out. I'm not condoning anything illegal here at all. BAS can send emails out. I'm going to show you quickly how that's done. Really quickly, it's not a subject. So where are we? There's a whole toolbox for send emails. First of all, you just use your SMTP details. So you put your host. So for instance, for Gmail HMTP settings, you can just do a lookup for your settings for your provider. So if you wanted to send out an email with Gmail, you would just use this. You can look it up. So that one. What port do they use for that particular service? It is port 465. And then you would just put the username and the password of your email account. So this is really good for error handling, or if something's finished. So just say you got to the end of your script, you could use this to send out your message. So this is just obviously not a thing. Just say that was your username and password. So now you've set up a connection to the email. The next thing that you want to do after that is send the email. So then you could put the from. So you'd use the from would need to be the email address that you've set up your SMTP from. Okay. Mail to, well, whoever you're trying to mail out to. Subject, you know how to send an email. So that's the subject and that's the content. Now this is really good if you've got a bot running on a server, okay, and you want it to email you and let you know when it's finished, or when an error happens, or anything. Just say after 100 accounts have been made, or you've scraped 100 pages, then send you over an email to let you know. So it's really good to update you, or for client work as well. Maybe they need to know once something's finished, or your team does. Then you can make it send you an email. I'm not condoning or saying it's a good idea to use this to send out mass emails or anything illegal. Use it at your own discretion. It's meant to be used to update you, to send yourself an email or a client or something when something's finished with your bot or an error's happened. Okay. This is the big one. This is the one. I've run out of coffee, but anyway. How can I download images? They keep downloading as a dot file. Now, without bashing Browser Automation Studio, downloading images or files is not the easiest thing to do. There's about 5 different options to be able to work. Let's just call it a workaround to be able to do it. And I know exactly what you guys are saying. Who actually sent the actual one? Oh, no one, because lots of people have been asking it. Okay, yeah. So as you guys know, when you try and download something like an image, normally it downloads to the computer as a dot file. Okay. And I'm going to do a whole video on this because it gets asked so much. But just one way with images, let's clean up a little bit. Let's just get this down. Right. So Unsplash on an image of dogs. Who knows? Right. You'll do. Right. Let's grab this. I've got to remember myself the method that I wanted to show you. So if we go to browser, load, and we go to this particular photo, it doesn't have to, this could be anything on a site that you wanted to download. Then what you need to do, I've just got to remember myself, is, yeah, okay. So go to the thing that you're trying to download, and then it's get element attribute, I think. Let me just, actually, there's 2 ways that I want to show you, because, let me just see. Did I save it? Okay, let me play around with the second way I want to show you. So just forgive me if I get a little bit sidetracked here. Okay, let's just check that out. And then Oh yeah, there is a download function. That's it. It was already built in. URL. So let me just check this first. Saved attribute. Yep, saved attribute and save to. So I need to. I'm just going to hard code this for now, but you could make this into a resource. I'm just mumbling at the moment, guys. I'm just checking that the way I wanted to show you works, which is helpful. Let's make a folder. Yeah, images. Okay. So I'm just going to hard code it in. Okay. See what's going on. Get a folder. Okay. So let's just check. Yeah, okay, that's good. And then because Dimlo. Right. Might need to give it a bloody name. Let me just check this. Then I'm just trying to go through this myself, and then I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing. So don't worry, ignore me. Cause I want to show you this method, but I don't remember myself. Yeah, there you go. Worked perfect. Okay, so here is a way to do it. Is use requests. So what I've done, let me just clean this up. So it's there you go. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm going to, this could be anything, okay? You could go to any website, anything. So I'm loading this page because you can see what's going on, that's why. Okay, there's a picture. So what I've done is gone to get the attribute, okay? So that is right click on the thing that you're trying to get, okay? Get element attribute, okay? And what attribute do you want? Well, it's either going to be, and it's probably more than likely going to be src, which stands for source, okay? Or if not, img for image, but you know, src normally works. So you get the attribute of it, which in this case is going to be the URL of the image, which is here. Do you see that? Okay, so that's the image. So we've got the image URL. Then if you come to search and you go download, there's an actual section for downloads. And then what do you want to download? Well, the saved attribute, because that is the link to the image. And then just simply put in, I've just hard coded it in where you want to save. But this could be a resource. Okay, so you could have a folder resource so that it saves to a particular folder. And that's one way that you can download. This is especially useful for images, but can be used for anything else. I'm going to leave it there. That's just one way to download stuff. It needs a whole video for it. I'm trying to answer some questions. So yeah, that's one way, especially good for images. And you can do this for as many images as you wanted. Yeah, so that's that. GUI. Okay, so the person who asked about the GUIs, I'm of course presuming that you have the paid version of BAS. It's one of the few things that they hold back from you, which is fair enough. I mean, they give Bass to you for free. So it's one of the things that you have to pay for. So when you've completed a project, in fact, let's do this. I know what we're going to do. I know what we're going to do. So, what am I doing? Why am I doing that? Deary me, come on. So let's have how to look human, site to go to, and this is going to be a quick, again, this requires a whole video as well, but go to number of threads. I'm just making this up just so we can make some kind of how many pages to scrape. Okay. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, just for time's sake. And again, so I'm going to save as. We're going to save this as Empire Showcase. Okay, just so it's unique. Now, so you've got your bot. You've completed your bot. You want to show your mum, your dad, and your girlfriend how great you are at making bots. So then we'll go to build and compile. And you're going to have these list of options. You need to call the script here the same as what you've called the script that you were making, okay, for the upload. So showcase. Why is this blanked out? Oh, because of there. Okay. So Empire Showcase, okay. Then, like I said, I'm presuming that you've actually got the full version of Bass. You can change the icon here if you so choose to. Then you have your options here. I'll let you read through them. You can add the scheduler. You can hide the browser. Only allow a single application per computer. Check that. Whatever the case. Now, then you hit OK, and it's going to say update local project. You always want to do that. Do you want to create a standalone application? If you do that, it's going to save a copy to your computer that's like a full application that you can then go and send to whoever you want to use the bot. Okay, then I'll move this over here. So then in that box that you just saw, you'd put your username and password to upload it to the server, okay? Bring it back. There you go, see, it's uploaded to the server now, okay? So, that sounds good, but now what? So, you could have built a standalone copy. I didn't build a standalone copy, but you could do, and it will open up the bot to where that standalone copy is, okay? And then that's your files to give away to whoever you want. But it's still protected, don't worry. And this is a really quick overview, okay? So hold on a minute. Hold on. Just give me a second, people. Into this. Okay. So this is your access panel. You'll know where that is if you have Bass. So you could go to, and this is going off the subject a little bit, but once you've got your compiled application and you've given it to someone, what you do is you go create a user, and then you give them a username and password. Okay. Right, create user, and then you go to give script to user, and then what's their username? Put in their username, and then what script. So the one that you just uploaded to the server, Empire Showcase, okay? And then you can decide when their license expires for a year and how many machines that they can use it on, okay? I know that wasn't the question, but that's how you give away your scripts. Now then, scripts. If you go to your script that you just uploaded, see, we uploaded it, remember? Now it's here. You can go to actions and you can go to interface. And then where it says custom interface, it's disabled to as standard. Click enable and then click default version, okay? Otherwise you're just gonna have a blank screen. Now here's the other thing that you want to change if you want other people other than yourself to see the custom GUI. So then you put enable for everyone. And then here, you can change the login screen as well if you want to, which is when they run the bot for the first time, it's going to ask for the username and password. You can change that, but for now, edit user interface. And you'll be brought to the editor. Now, if you know HTML and CSS, that's a huge advantage, and you can make this look however you want if you have them skills. There's so many courses online for HTML, CSS, okay? But fear not, if you don't know them things, then it's fine. This is how the GUI is going to look. If you just saved it now, it's going to look like this, okay? So you can go down here and like any editor, just say you wanted to get rid of this, highlight it, delete, it's gone. Delete. Okay, so let's get rid of some of these. Highlight, delete, delete, delete. Okay, you get the idea with the delete. So you just highlight an option, a column, delete, delete. Okay, now if you highlight something and you go to here, oh no, sorry, it's on the right one here. You can go, for instance, it's a bit like any kind of editor that doesn't use code. You can just find the options you want, like typography. I could change this, the font family and the font size, put it in the middle. Okay, we can also, which one is it? The last column here, the all four boxes. You can do what you could normally do with a visual editor. That you've got all these, add a text box, a button, text link. So I could come over here and drag and drop here and put version 2.1, I don't know, of our full bot. Okay, now I could just simply highlight this like any visual editor, then come back to the typography, and then I could change this again, font 30, to whack it in the middle, you see? So it's very much like a visual editor. You can get really deep with this, okay? If, like I said, if you know HTML or that kind of thing, you can edit everything, okay? You can change the colors, make it red. Okay, let's just go to these, and then that, change the size, put everything in the middle, change the size of this. Okay, you can change everything. Let's get the button. Let's make the button this big. Yeah. Yeah. So you get the idea. So the main things that you want when you come onto the editor is this one here, the end one, where you've got all your things like adding checkboxes, images, tabs, all that kind of thing. And the one that I always use, the paintbrush one, is where you can change dimensions, the margins, padding. Okay, so this is the visual version. Typography, I think I'm saying that right. You can align everything. Look, I know this looks amazing. This is absolutely amazing. I know you're jealous, everyone. You can start changing colors of everything, you know, have it how you want. Now, If you know HTML and CSS, you can go to the code, okay, and you can change everything to your heart's delight. Okay, now let's just say that I know this looks perfect. This is probably exactly how you want your bot. Just say you're finished, okay? Or if you just want to save it, you know, to make sure if your computer crashed, it's all saved, then you hit save changes on server. That's all you need to do now. Now, anyone that has your bot, that's the version that they're going to see. Now, let's just say that we change this to that and we hit save. When the person reloads their bot, so they exit the bot and they load back on, they're going to see the changes as well. Okay, and that is how you build your GUI. Now you can. This is the main thing that they see. If you wanted to add things to the, you know, once you run the bot, and then it comes up with all this like how many threads, failures, and all that kind of thing. Well, that can be changed as well. There's two tabs: resources, which is your main screens, and then script progress, where this can be changed. Whack it in the middle again, and so on and so forth. And the same rules apply. Okay, you can change all this. I think you get the idea. Save, boom. Okay, and now I've saved it. Everyone that uses the bot once they reload is gonna catch that, and it's gonna change for them. Can you install Chrome extensions on the BAS browser? I'm gonna have to go in a second, guys. I'm gonna have to wrap it up. But to sum up, Van, yes, you can. Let's quickly get out of that. Let's go here. I haven't got time to show you doing one, but I'm going to show you how you can do it, and I promise in the next video I'll actually do one with you. So record, default, it doesn't really matter. There is an actual option to add stuff to the browser. Let's get it. Browser settings, is it? Extensions. So you need the actual Chrome extension that you want the files. You normally get like a manifest file or something like that. And then you tell the bot where that extension is. So you can, with lots of extensions, or especially if you made the extension yourself, then you'll have the files there. It's normally called a manifest, I think, or something like that. A manifest file. Oh, it's actually on here. Each path contains extension and folder with the, yeah. So you need to direct the bot here to where that manifest is, the JSON file, and then it's going to read it, and then it will have that on each browser instance that you run. I don't have time to actually do one with you, but I'll make a point of doing it in the next video, so that we'll actually go and get not a random. You can let me know which kind of extension you're trying to put on, and we'll add one there. Okay, guys, I'm afraid that's going to have to be it for today. What's the time now? 8:15. I'm going to have to make like a tree and leave. Yeah, Van. Yeah. I know I haven't gone into much detail with that. It's under browser. It's under browser, and then browser settings, and right at the bottom, if you go to the question mark here, it's going to tell you more detail. To use extension, must download it and give the full path, and it gives you an example. It gives you an example there of how to do it. I will say this. A bit like when you're using Node.js with Browser Automation Studio, this is a framework. It's not perfect, and it might be a bit buggy. Okay, some extensions work absolutely fine, some don't, and I'll be honest about that. And like when you're using Node.js, sometimes it hangs up. So just give it a go. Most are okay to work with. Yeah, so that's how you use extensions. I've got to go, guys. I'm really sorry. But in the next live feed, I'll be answering more questions. So if you've got any questions, send them to me on Discord or email, and I'll make sure that they are included in the next live feed, which I think will be tomorrow evening. All right, guys, thanks a lot for joining me. I really appreciate your questions. I love helping out. If you're not already a member of the Discord channel, then get over there. Check out thebotempire.com as well. Thanks a lot, guys. I'm out of here. Peace.